Hey, EV sales were up in 2023, but electricity usage was down. Another bad day for Polestar. EV and ICE price parity? Hmm. Some big money for charging infrastructure from the US government. Musk doing drugs with some of his directors? And have you seen the idiot driving the Cybertruck with an Apple Vision Pro on his face? It's Monday, February 5th, 2024. Let's get to it. Happy Monday, EV people. What's going on? It's another big week, so let's get on with it. So it seems like in 2023, according to the Energy Information Administration, despite the fact that 1.2 million new EVs hit the road, electricity use in the US actually went down by 1%. That is a good thing because that means what? That means that all of our appliances, EVs, etc., are getting more and more efficient. That's all a good thing because that's what we want is more efficient electrical use, right? It's an electric future, but we want it to be an efficient one. And, that also kind of debunks the whole belief that electric cars are going to destroy the grid and tear it down. Obviously, in 2023, we used actually less electricity with more EVs on the road. So, not to say that if we put 10 million new EVs on the road next year, it wouldn't drive up electricity use. But based on that 1% drop, we probably could put 10 million more EVs on the road and be just fine. So let's just keep putting more EVs on the road, okay? There's another bad day for Polestar where Hertz announced that they're going to delay buying more Polestar EVs for their rental fleet. Not really surprising considering that they started selling off a lot of their Tesla EVs in the last month or so. So the fact that they're going to delay purchasing Polestars isn't really surprising. However, it's just another kicking the balls to Polestar because, Volvo dumped them last week. And, their stock took a dump on that news today with Hertz basically saying they're going to delay purchasing the EVs. They didn't cancel it outright, but delay usually means probably never going to happen. So too bad for Polestar, which is a shame because it's a great brand. I just think what they really need to do is sort of reposition themselves in the market and maybe sort of breaking away from Volvo will give them that ability. Because I think Volvo kind of positioned Polestar in the US to sort of be like premium electric brand, sort of like maybe a notch above Volvo itself. And I don't think that's where they should be positioned. I think Polestar should position themselves in the sort of Genesis kind of place in the market where it's more premium than your average car, but it's not quite Mercedes or Porsche. It's never going to be. And I think they should just accept that and find their place in the market. And I think they would do much better with a little bit lower pricing, not trying to compete with, Taycans and Macans and EQS, all that. Don't do that. Compete in the Genesis region. And I think they would do much better if they just embraced that. In 2023, also, it came out that, and I think I've talked about this a little bit before, but just more stats coming in that the average price of an EV in 2023 was, depending on what statistics you read, was between $50,000 and $53,000. And the average price of an ICE car was about $48,000 to $49,000 last year. So the prices are coming in line. Probably in 2024, 2025, we might have that exact parity, and then you might even see it drop. I mean, obviously Tesla dropping prices last year to spur sales really contributed to that average price drop. Something was like 24% over 2022. So but that's a good thing, and I think with the new Rivian R2 that's coming in March, and Tesla talking about their lower cost EV coming in 2025, I think we'll start to see more low cost EVs hitting the road, and that will drive down the average price, which will mean price parity. And obviously, to get more people into EVs, they need to be more affordable. It's one thing for people that are doing all right, maybe they have a little bit of money. It's one thing to buy an EV, but for the police officer and the teacher, the machinist out there. That's, they make decent money, but they don't want to be shelling out $70,000, $80,000 for a car. Bringing those EV prices down makes EVs more attractive to more people, and of course, that just means we need a better charging infrastructure, which leads into the U.S. Energy Administration has released, or the Energy Department and Transportation Department have put out $325 million more for charging infrastructure. A lot of that goes to fix, I think, roughly 4,500 broken chargers, and to boost the installation of new DC fast charging and level 2s, because I think, most of us in the EV community, we kind of understand that level 2 is really where we're going to make the difference. We need the DCFC infrastructure for road tripping and for people that live in apartments or condos where they don't necessarily have access to level 2. But I think that will come over time. But level 2 is really where it's at, because, if you have a lot of level 2 charging, let's say at a mall, where people can maybe they're going to be there for an hour or two shopping or more, just plug in. You don't need fast charging. It's actually not good. I mean, if you go out to dinner and you plug into a fast charger, 9 times out of 10, your car is going to be done before your appetizer even comes. And then you got to run out and unplug it because you don't want idle fees, and you certainly don't want to be the a-hole that blocks a space from someone else being able to plug in and charge. So level 2 charging is great because you can roll up. Like if you're going out to dinner, you're going to be spending an hour and a half inside a restaurant, plug in, juice up a little bit, and then head home. And that's really the way to do it, right? So more money from the government for EV infrastructure is good. I don't like paying taxes. I don't think anybody does. But when I see tax money being used for something productive, that's good. Now, the only question is going to be, how well will this money be used? I mean, the NEVI funding went into place back in 2022 when we only saw one NEVI-funded charger go into the ground in 2023, right at the end. Now, I think obviously we're going to see more in 2024 and 2025. But how fast are those things going to get into the ground? And is there funding in there to speed up the process of getting electricity to these charging sites? It's one thing to be able to get the charging, or the chargers and the dispensers, and to get them put into the ground. But to get the juice to them can sometimes be a big hassle with local power companies. So, is there money in there to sort of incentivize that? I don't know. I hope that there is, because we definitely need the charging infrastructure. There's a story about Elon Musk and some of the board of directors from Tesla and SpaceX all doing drugs together. Drugs. Not sure what drugs. Apparently illegal drugs. Ooh. And a lot of these directors said they did it because they didn't want to anger Elon Musk. So are we back to peer pressure into doing drugs again? We're back to the 80s now. I don't know if but to become a director on a board for a company like Tesla or SpaceX, these are not like high school kids. These are not just, little wilting wildflowers. These are usually fairly successful business people that, kind of know how the world works, especially, big finance, big business. So to think that they would be peer pressured into doing drugs with Elon just to keep him happy, I don't know. I don't quite buy that. I think they got caught, and they're trying to come up with an excuse for why they did it. But in any event, I think Musk's comment was, if I'm doing drugs, I must be doing the right ones, because Tesla is the most successful car company in the world, and SpaceX is the most successful private space company. And he's not wrong. So, not that I'm saying you should do drugs. Definitely don't do drugs. But, hey, it's working for Elon. And lastly, have you seen the video? I saw it on Barstool Sports, but it's been all over the internet, of some clown in a Cybertruck with an Apple Vision Pro on his face. As far as last I knew, the Cybertruck still didn't have self-driving capability. So how were they doing that? It's kind of scary. And it's kind of scary to think that anyone would even attempt to do this. I mean, you have to be a complete moron, although probably a wealthy one, because if you have a Cybertruck and the Apple Vision Pro, neither one is cheap. So it makes me wonder how someone with that kind of money could be that stupid, right? It's a crazy world that we live in, folks. It's just getting crazier. But, I mean, someday that'll be a common occurrence. I mean, when cars can drive themselves, and we're past worrying about safety, and it actually works, and then maybe, yeah, put your Apple Vision Pro while your car is driving you to work. I don't know, but today that's not a good idea. So that's what's been going on today in the world of EVs, at least in my little EV awesome world. So just remember, EVs are awesome, and it's okay to be awesome. See you next time. It's for